So today we're going to be checking out one of my personal favorite tobacco fragrances. This one, of course, is Mancera Red Tobacco. This one did come out in 2017, so it's not that old, still relatively new, but it's one that I've been wanting to check out since it first came out. I do remember it coming out, but I never really got around to getting a sample or purchasing a bottle, but it has been one pretty high on my list to try because I love tobacco and fragrances. This is one that I've been interested in. This was actually provided to me from Twisted Lily. Of course, you guys know I've been working with them. They're a great niche fragrance boutique. They carry a lot of hard to find niche fragrances. And if you want to pick up anything over there, go show your support to them because they're a great company. They're great to work with. Use my code CHAOS10. That will get you 10% off all of your orders over there. It's a great way to save yourself some money, and I will link Red Tobacco down below in the description to them so you could pick it up. And if you use my code, you get 10% off. Obviously, the more you buy, the more you save. So it's a great little deal there to get a great tobacco scent. Let's go ahead and review this one today. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately, if I think it's worth picking up. Let's not waste any more time here. Let's get into it. So when you first spray this fragrance on, what I get right away in the opening, I get a little bit of saffron, oud, cinnamon, and of course, tobacco. That's kind of what I start off with here. And that opening does smell great. Now, don't be afraid of the oud. It's Mancera's kind of signature oud note. If you smelled any of the Manceras, you know, a lot of them do contain oud, even some of their fresher ones, but it's nothing strong. You know, primarily the cinnamon, the tobacco are playing together, giving it a spicy kick. The saffron in there is a note that you've smelled in other fragrances before. A lot of times, at least, you know, from my experience, it's a bit more in the background as kind of a supporting note. So you do kind of get that similarity there. And then I also get a little bit of vanilla that starts to creep in, just kind of giving it a bit more of a smoothness and a little bit more of a warmth. You know, the other notes I've been describing here, the tobacco, the cinnamon, the oud, kind of gives it a bit of a harshness a little bit, or makes it sound that way, but the vanilla helps to kind of counterbalance that. There's also a little bit of patchouli and a smoky incense note in here as well. I think both the patchouli and the incense is lending to the kind of smokiness that's kind of in the base of this scent. You'll find that there's really an incredible amount of depth to this scent. You know, it's not just tobacco and that's it, right? You get a lot of things going on here, a lot of high quality notes from that tobacco to the vanilla to the cinnamon to the oud, right? You're getting a lot of stuff here, and it really kind of gives it multiple layers. So when you're smelling it, when you're testing it, you know, it's something where you may smell it one time and you pick up on a couple things, and then maybe the next day or a couple days later you spray it on and you smell it again, and then you kind of pick up on some things and notice some things that you didn't the first time. You know, there's multiple layers to this one that you can discover, and it just takes time to actually wear it and test it so you can discover all these different layers, which is why I tell you guys it's important to test things out thoroughly before you make a decision on it. You know, if you are getting a sample of this one, use that sample up. You know, spray it on skin, spray it on paper, spray it on your clothing if you want to. Just kind of test it on these different materials, skin obviously being the most important, and just give it a chance. You know, experience the opening, experience the mid, experience the dry down. Just kind of get a really good idea of the scent before you make a judgment on it. And if you do blind buy a bottle, make sure you wear it a few times on your skin before you decide if that was a good purchase or not. I will say for a lot of you, if you like tobacco, this will be a smart purchase for you. If you aren't the biggest fan of it right off the bat, keep testing it because most likely you'll probably come around to it. If you're not a fan of tobacco, this may not be the fragrance for you because it is very prominent, the tobacco, the oud, the saffron, the cinnamon, all of that stuff playing a part. But for most of you out there, if you clicked on this video, chances are it's because you have an interest in tobacco fragrances or you have an interest in Mancera Red Tobacco, or, you know, both of those options, obviously. So I would say if you're here, you're in the right spot. You're probably going to have some appreciation for this one. The quality is great from the beginning, and it stays great through to the dry down as well. It doesn't smell cheap. It doesn't smell synthetic. You know, it's not harsh or anything like that. It's a very smooth scent. A lot of that smoothness, again, is coming from the vanilla, the way the vanilla and the tobacco mixes with that oud, and then also that incense and patchouli, giving it some added smokiness and depth. It creates a really, really good smelling scent, and almost, I would say, an addictive smelling fragrance. You know, this is one where when I spray it on, as you've probably been noticing, I keep going back to smell it, and it's just because I love it. You know, it's something where as soon as you apply it, you can't get enough of it. In terms of seasons and when you can wear this one, definitely more of a fall and winter based scent, right? That should be no surprise for you there. fall and winter, it's going to work. In terms of when, this is something that you could wear on a night out. You could wear it a bit more dressed up. But you could also wear it, a bit more casually as well. I think there's a lot of versatility to this one. It really has a classiness to it and a bit of an upscale kind of smell to it. And when you look at the presentation, you'll notice it's different than other Manceras, right? If we get some focus here, obviously it does have the sticker on the front, but it's got gold on the bottom. It's got gold on the top of the cap and right here in the middle. And the cap also just has a bit of a different shape. Of course, there's gold accenting around the sticker as well. It's different than their other fragrances. And I think the bottle is a really great representation of the scent. Obviously, the bottle itself being red, right? Red tobacco. But the gold accents kind of represent a bit of that luxurious and higher end smell that this one has. And then the red kind of representing that nice tobacco and kind of the oud mixture and stuff. I think the bottle was really a good representation of the scent that you get inside, and that's something that is high end that you can wear dressed up, but also a bit more casually as well. Performance on my skin, this is an easy 12 plus hours, no questions asked. I mean, I've been testing this one and I've been impressed with the longevity every single time. 12 plus hours on my skin. Obviously at that point it is going to be closer to my skin, which is what you would expect, but it's got really, really good longevity. It's a very, very potent scent. I also find that this one does really kind of consume my personal space pretty well. It will push out quite a bit with just a couple of sprays, so you don't need to go overboard on this one. If you want to get noticed, this fragrance will do it for you. Just don't go too heavy on the trigger because you might start to annoy some people. In terms of compliments, this one is a pretty good compliment getter. You got to keep in mind it's going to be a bit more daring. It's not your blue fragrance. It's not, something like Mancera Cedrat Boisé, which is a fruity, woody scent. That one's a really good compliment getter. It's a lot more mass appealing. This one, because of that tobacco, because of the oud and the incense and the smokiness that this one has, it's going to be a bit more challenging and a bit more daring. But on the right guy, and if the right women are around you, this one will work great for you. At the end of the day, if you're dressed nicely in the fall and winter, you're carrying yourself with confidence, this is one that will garner you compliments, because this is one where it can wear you instead of you wearing it if you're not careful. You need to have the confidence, you need to have a nice outfit on, and you just have to be in control of the scent. And if you are, then this will be your wingman and it will pull you some compliments. My final thoughts on Mancera Red Tobacco. I think it's fantastic. Again, it's one of my personal favorite tobacco fragrances for a reason. It's got so much depth. It's more than just the tobacco for me, obviously being in the name. And of course, the smell, it is one of the main notes here, but there's a lot more that's going on as well. I enjoy the oud. I enjoy the incense, the patchouli, the cinnamon, the vanilla, right? All of these other notes are really kind of, making a nice base for the tobacco, which is at the forefront. It's a great scent with great quality, great performance, and good compliments as well. This is a must-have if you're into tobacco scents. And remember, if you want to pick this fragrance up, Twisted Lily does carry it, and use my code CHAOS10. That will get you 10% off all of your orders over there. That's pretty much going to do it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Mancera Red Tobacco down below. And if you want me to cover any other Mancera fragrances, let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.